My name is John Ferrara. I'm the Secretary-Treasurer of the St. Louis Amateur Hockey Hall of Fame. I'd like to welcome all of you and thank you all for your attendance. I'd like to have your attention and introduce one of our guests and one of our sponsors. Joining the Tom Shelby family is Lou Struckman, who coached Officer Billy Biggs. Lou was Billy's Webster youth coach, and he was Billy's first junior B coach. Officer Billy Biggs, as we most recently knew him, is being remembered tonight by his widow Cindy, his son Cody, his mother Pat, his brother Jim, and his sisters Allison and Catherine. As a nonprofit organization, the St. Louis Amateur Hockey Hall of Fame is proud to announce our first donation to the Webster Youth Hockey Organization in the name of Officer Billy Biggs. As a fledgling organization, this Hall of Fame donation would not be possible but for the participation and attendance of each of you here tonight. The recent tragedy in Kirkwood will not soon be forgotten, and it is the hope of the Board of Directors that Bill's legacy will live on through youth hockey in Webster. At this point, I would like to introduce our Master of Ceremonies tonight, Chris Kerber. Thank you.
How are you tonight? You knew that Bruce Affleck was going to be in charge of something when the ceremony starts at 8, but the program actually started at 4 o'clock with the drinks out in the lobby. There's no doubt about that. When Bruce is involved, we know we've got a party. Well, first off, my name is Chris Kerber. Thanks for allowing me to be your MC tonight. It is quite an honor to walk into the building tonight, and as a guy that grew up in the city of St. Louis and then left for 10 years and getting the opportunity in 2000 to come back home to St. Louis, even I didn't realize sometimes just how rich the roots of hockey were in the city of St. Louis. And seeing this tonight and being able to be a part of this tonight is without a doubt one of the special things. And it has probably been long overdue, as Bruce and the board has said, but a terrific thing, and I applaud you all for the St. Louis Amateur Hockey Hall of Fame. When you think about the game of hockey, you kind of compare it to other sports. And lately when I've been thinking about that kind of thing, each sport has its own charm. The one thing that hockey has that none of the other sports has is a nonstop ability for the wow factor. And here's what I mean by the wow factor. In baseball, you can sit there for 9 innings and go home and not necessarily see something special. But you might see something special. You just don't know if that's going to happen. In football, 30 seconds of a burst, you might see a great play, you might just see a guy get creamed 3 yards up, something special maybe, you never know when it's going to happen. The other sports have the same kind of thing. The individual sports may take a long round of golf, it may take a special tennis match, you never know. The game of hockey has something intrinsic that none of the other sports have. On every shift, it could be a guy going down and blocking a shot, and you're going to go, ooh, because you knew that hurt. It could be a goaltender whipping out the glove and making a save that acrobatically he never should have had any reason of getting to, and you go, wow. It could be watching Brett Hull score 86 goals, and you're saying wow on all 86. It could be a hip check from Bob Plager. It could be any one of those kind of things, and that is the great thing about the game of hockey, is that we have the wow factor available on every single shift, and that is really what separates our sport and makes it more exciting than all of the rest. There's two other aspects, though, when it comes to the game of hockey. One of those aspects happens to be the fun factor. And you guys see it here, whether some of you have played in a youth hockey organization. For some of the people that are going to be inducted tonight, it just exists with the closeness of the group of people that play the game of hockey. Whether you went, and some people may have played in the minor leagues here in the building tonight, or however you got to where you are, where you're sitting here tonight enjoying the game of hockey, the fun factor is there in the game of hockey as well. A lot of that fun is because of the character of the games. I'm going to share a couple of real true stories for you here tonight. Both of them I got to experience actually when I was traveling through the minor leagues and riding the bus down in the American Hockey League. And just to make sure you know I'm not making this up, I will actually use the names. So we had a first-round draft pick in Phoenix. His name was Dan Folk. Now, he was a defenseman, a big defenseman. Never really panned out in terms of a career in the National Hockey League. But when we're riding the bus in Springfield, Massachusetts, sometimes you don't have too many long bus rides. But this time we did, of course. We were going up towards the Canadian Maritimes, and then we were going to head over and play in Fredericton and up in St. John, and then, catch a plane and go over to St. John's out on the Rock to take on the Maple Leafs. So the bus ride's about 9 hours from Springfield up to St. John's. The bus driver that we had knew every single lunch eatery between Springfield, Massachusetts and St. John's, New Brunswick. Every single one of them. So he pulls us off at a place called Melissa Gilbert's Roadhouse. It's up in Portland, Maine. And we sit down to eat dinner. So the whole team goes in there, and this, it's a small place, maybe about the size of a quarter of this room. So the place goes a little nuts, like, oh my gosh, we got to feed now 23 hockey guys. So Dan Folk decides he's going to order the special. He says, I'm going to order I want the half ham and cheese and a cup of soup. Well, he goes to the bathroom when the food gets delivered. Yeah, he found it without even having to ask, too. That's pretty funny when you think about it. But Dan Folk gets back, the food's delivered. It's sitting right in front of him, exactly what he ordered. And he looks at everybody in a serious look, and he goes, where's my food? We look down in front, we go, it's right in front of you. Where's my food? Dan, it's right in front of you. He goes, look, I'm getting a little tired of this. I'm hungry. We got a long bus ride. Somebody tell me where the rest of my food is now. I'm going to lose it. Dan, what'd you order? The half ham and cheese and a cup of soup. That's what you've got. You've got a half ham and cheese and a cup of soup in front of you. Folks, I'm swearing to you on this one. Dan actually thought that the half a ham and cheese was half the sandwich would be ham, half the sandwich would be cheese. You put it together, you've got the whole entire sandwich, an entire piece of bread.